I call on the representative of Ethiopia.
Mr. President, we ask for the floor in the exercise of the right of reply to the statement made by the Egyptian delegate against my country, Ethiopia. The unfounded claims we heard here today are also communicated to the Security Council. Ethiopia has provided a considered response based on truth and lessons from our knowledge of Egypt's baseless claims. Our position remains principled and clear. The Nile River ties Ethiopia, Egypt, and the 9 other countries of the Nile Basin with a natural bond. Ethiopia has taken all steps to preserve this bond. The contrast between Ethiopia's long-standing policy of cooperation and Egypt's continued hostility is starkly clear. Ethiopia abides by the international law principle of equitable and reasonable utilization in its use of the Nile River. Egypt, on the other hand, is invested in imposing what it calls its historic right. Ethiopia advances basin-wide cooperation along with its sisterly co-repairing countries. Egypt pushes for colonial-era bilateral commission that grants it unfettered authority over 10 African countries. Ethiopia seeks to develop the water to protect the human rights of our people for inadequate standard of living, to ensure access to clean drinking water, food, and electricity to power our homes, schools, hospitals, and factories. Egypt insists on denying them these necessities of life by a perpetual colonial status as a desert farm, to use its own terms, and I quote, oasis for development, end of quote. Ethiopia built the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam by consulting and involving Egypt in the decision-making processes, starting from the design to the operation of the dam. Egypt built the humongous High Aswan Dam, which is nearly 3 times the size of our Renaissance Dam, destroying the Nubia and Meroe civilizations with flooding, destroying the livelihood of people in its neighbor. Several rounds of negotiations have been held between Ethiopia and Egypt. Egypt tried to extract unreasonable concessions from Ethiopia without any genuine desire for a win-win solution. Egypt's representatives have not shown any inclination to produce a consensus outcome. Its entire focus is to get other Nile riparian states to recognize its claims for colonial-era entitlements and full control of the Nile. Ethiopia's dam is the first of many, not only in Ethiopia, but also in the wider Nile Basin region. There has to be a lesson from the past to chart a positive future, a more collaborative future. Hostility only breeds divisions, wastage of resources, and missed opportunities for joint development. Ethiopia has redoubled its efforts to ensure regional peace and security, shoulder to shoulder with its neighbors to restore peace, advance integration, and economic development, and in the fight against terrorism. Egypt, on the other hand, is disrupting these regional efforts, shipping in arms and supporting belligerents and making diplomatic solutions impossible in its neighbors to the south and west. There is no parallel comparison between my country, Ethiopia, and Egypt. Our determination to forge cooperation emanates from the just nature of our cause and action. It's influenced by the timeless bond and shared future we enjoy with our neighbors. When we exchange this word in this August Assembly, it is only because we are compelled to do so. Egypt's attempt to internationalize one hydroelectric dam, one African river, is only another case of exploiting this platform for narrow political purposes and a cover-up for national and regional preoccupations. This is one among several factors that contributed to the challenges the United Nations is facing in developing on its mandates. We thus encourage Egypt to play a constructive role in building a future of shared prosperity I thank you, Mr. President.